Welcome back everybody here to my channel, and I'm out here to show you how I built my iron farm in my survival world. So you can actually just watch this and you don't need to watch my raging through the villagers. And this is how it should look, but you're going to notice that I put the beds, all the beds in the bottom, but on my survival I have the beds here. It doesn't make a difference. You can choose to put them in on top of here by putting glass here and just putting the beds on top of this. There's no problem. Or you can do like I did and just leave them right there in the bottom, all circling the original beds. And in order to do this, you're going to need exactly 20 beds, 10 villagers, 10 workstations. For this area alone, you need a stack of glass, an entire stack of glass, and you're going to need building blocks. Enough to do all of this. If you're gonna put the platform in the air, you're gonna need building blocks for the floor as well. And I advise you to use either leaves, like I have down there, over there, and or glass. You can choose either of those in order to put on top of this. And you can see, you can actually just place it on the floor if you want to, and no iron golems is actually going to spawn out because it doesn't have the radius to spawn here. So this works perfectly fine if you want to put it on the floor. If you want to put it high up, you need to build a platform to hold it. So I'm not going to include the collection system because that's a whole different thing. You know, you can actually do pretty easy collection system. So if you want to do a collection system, I do it on the survival video. But if you want, you can actually just look for a nice collection system that you can do. Just put a minecart hopper underneath the middle one, and you're pretty much just set to go. So let me just go through some basics. You actually need 26 signs in order to hold the lava like this. Because like this, the iron golems come in and they get damaged because they're 3 blocks high, but the drops just drop down here and they don't get destroyed by lava. So that's pretty cool. And one thing you have to have in mind is that water travels 8 blocks. So the center is here, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's the 8th that you can technically count as that one. So it does not reach here. And this is important because this will tell you how to build this. So to start all of this, you need to find the middle of the farm where you want to make it, but you need to be far enough away from any other villagers that you have, or else this will be really tricky. And in case you're having troubles with workstations and something and they're not picking the workstation, that's because you might have another workstation just lost in your world, and if you do, that's gonna be a pain really to remove it. So if you want to do this on a village, remove every single workstation that you can find so that they just don't mess with you, you know? So you need to break all of these that you actually find. So let's start this. In order to start this, you need to find a middle. I'm going to do it on the floor so I have a little bit less work. So I do a 3x3 of magma blocks. You only need the middle one technically, but I like to do the extra ring around them because if a cat comes in, he actually pushes the golem, so we can actually still take damage here, you know, and lava plus the magma blocks actually helps kill them faster. So this is only to kill them faster, nothing more. So what you want to do, you can actually do this before or after you place the water. I'm gonna just do it right now. So you need to get 26 signs. 1, you don't need to write on them. 2, and then you want to go out by 3 like this on all 3 sides. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. And the next step is you can either choose any side you want, and you come like to this one and you put 1 and you put another one on top of it, and then you come to this one and you put another one, and then you come to the opposite side, you put 1 there, you put 1 there, and you put 1 exactly right here. So you do a cross, and then you come over here and you put 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. Then you do the same on the opposite side. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And now you have your lava blade perfectly done. As you can see, just let the water flow. Don't worry about this. If you have the water, it does nothing. So after you've done the signs and tested the lava house, you can actually just go in and start planning out the water. And how is this going to be done? You want to go 8 blocks from this sign to every single one of the walls. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And the 9th is where you actually want to do all of the walls for every single side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then you want to go to the corners, and then you want to do this. If you have the corners like this, you do 1, 2, 3, and place that 1/4. So in every single one of the corners, so you should have something like this. Then you want to put the water in, and this you need to be careful, or else you're just going to make an entire water platform. So you put one on each corner, like this. The water will start to flow, yes. And then you need to avoid to put water on these blocks. I'm going to mark them so it's actually easier to see. You need to avoid these blocks all around, or else if you put the water there, this one will become a water source, and then all of them will become a water source. So just clear this out. Yeah. Next, you avoid these ones, but all the other ones are safe for you to put all the water in. And you need to put water on all of them so that you don't create passive spots where mobs can just stay there and not get pushed by water. So you need to do this all around. Let me mark it here so it's actually easier for you to see. You need to avoid the glass here. Always avoid the glass on this part. Do this, do the same thing here, and do the same thing here. Then the water should perfectly push anything that comes into here to the middle, safely into the middle. Then what you want to do is go to the middle, and then you put a block right there. If you already have the water in, you can always just put a block here and just jump on top of it. It doesn't actually do anything, and then you can remove it later. So what you want to go is do like a line of 5 on top of this. Then choose either side and put 2 rows of 5. And then you put another row of 5 on the opposite side. So this is where you actually will be starting to put your beds down. Now, one thing to have in mind is that you need to bring the villagers one by one. But let's start doing their cages. So the beds will stay here. So you need to actually raise this one by one and do it like this. Then you can have a temporary block here or here actually to do another line here. So 8 blocks there. Then you have these 5. Then you have a temporary block. Then you do this. Then do the same here. And boom. And you actually leave this gap because this is where the villagers will be put, and then the beds also. So the first thing you want to be careful here is that you need to bring the villagers one by one. And in order to do so, if you have a villager just laying around, actually going to put him already here. If you have villagers laying around in the space, you go to them, and then what you want to be doing is placing the workstation down and see who's the villager that will claim this one. This will most likely be this guy. So since there's no other villager around, and what you want to do is put the bed, if you know if that bed is this guy's bed. You need to be extra careful with that. As you can see, he already converted to this because he can access the workstation. And then you need to bring them one by one. So how are you going to do this? I already said, you put a any workstation works. So you just put a workstation down and you find who links to this one. Then you find that guy's bed, you break the bed and you break their workstation, and then you bring them here. So if I now just come inside and place a second one, he will link to the bed and he will link to the table. So this is really the hardest part of all of this, because they just annoy you and they mess with your things. If you're trying to bring them in survival, they just jump on top of each other and you don't actually know who's who, or another guy just comes in and steals the minecart that you're trying to use, or the boat, and it's just annoying. But yeah, you have to do this for every single one of them, and eventually you will have every single one of them here like this. Yeah. And if you're having troubles with bringing them in, use the night, because they just lay in their beds and they're just quiet this way. So now what you want to be doing is actually bringing in extra glass here, like so, and then you want to raise this one up and put this in like this. What this will do is give them space when they're awake inside of this, so they will remain here. Then you can come back here and remove this line of glass, and they're perfectly stuck on their beds. Then as you can see by that design, I actually have the beds all the way, the extra beds all the way around this. But in my survival world, I just did this. I come to this is probably the easiest version. You come to the top and you place the remaining of the beds. So you should have a total of 20 beds and a total 10 villagers, 10 workstations, and then you just wait a while, and at any moment now there will be golems spawning here. So this displacement of the beds was not working, so I changed them. And now that I'm thinking, and I don't think it was the beds, I think that I was too close to that other village, and for some reason they were linking onto that one. But then you can see it's working. If the beds are not working for you on top of this, like I had previously, you can put them like this, that's no worries, or you can have them all the extra ones around this, like I have on that one. And then you always need to be sure to put this entire thing on glass or leaves, or else the golems can actually spawn on the ledges and stay there, and that's not what you want. You want them to spawn in the water and get pushed into the lava blade. And after every single thing is done and you've seen golems spawn, you just go in and put the lava so you can actually kill them faster. And that's one thing I learned, you know, because if something is not wrong and you need to go in there and fix it, it will be harder if the lava is actually there. So the lava is the last thing I recommend you doing. So you can even place a block to help you here, and you want to aim to the middle sign and put it right on top of it. And the farm is pretty much done. And if you want to, you can remove the corner blocks like so. Yeah, like this. And now you just wait. Yeah, as you can see, golems are spawning. There's no need to worry, and then you work on a collection system. Just put a minecart hopper underneath the middle one, and then you can just run a line of hoppers to your chests. And that's it, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoy. And oh my. Okay, but I do recommend you guys building this up at least a few blocks in the air, because as you can see on this last clip, and I went to check in something on the wiki, and some of them can barely spawn here, so you need to always be cautious about that. But if you have this thing like a few blocks in the air, that will never happen, because there will be no blocks for them to spawn. Or you could just increase the platform, it's up to you. And yeah, that's gonna be it. Any questions, you can leave it down in the comments. I always try to respond to everyone. So yeah, Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Hopefully I was helpful. Hopefully I may have responded to questions that you already had, like the guy that spawned outside of this for some reason. Yeah, but you could just dig a hole and that's not a worry. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed and see you in the next one. Goodbye.